Vegetable soup with lemon parsley dumpling. Hi, welcome to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. I'm Sonika and the recipe that we're making today is that of a soup. So what is the soup we're making today? Well, we're making a vegetable soup with lemon parsley dumplings. Let's take a look at the ingredients that we need to make this. Button mushrooms, bamboo shoot, sliced carrots, spinach leaves, chopped onions, lemon, eggs, breadcrumbs, chopped garlic, ginger, parsley, corn flour, salt, crushed black pepper, vegetable stock, leeks, green chilies, oil, Parmesan cheese powder. Now that we've run through the ingredients, let's start making this very interesting soup recipe, for which we're going to heat some oil in a pan and then we're going to saute our veggies lightly in it. So I've got a pot over here and I'm going to just heat some oil in it. So while the oil is getting nice and hot, we're just going to chop up our veggies. So I'm going to start with the mushrooms. I'm going to slice them thinly. And now we're going to cut the leeks. And we're going to cut the ginger into strips. Now that the oil has gone nice and hot, I'm going to add in the fine strips of ginger that we cut. Next, I'm going to add in the chopped garlic. I'm going to give this a mix. Now I'm going to add in the onions. And after the onions, we're going to add in the chopped leeks. Give it a good mix. And now we can add in the other sliced veggies. So I'm going to add some sliced carrots. To make the soup, you can use a choice of veggies that you like. I'm sticking to the ones that I like. I'm going to add in a lot of mushrooms next because these are my favorite. We're going to just stir fry this for a bit. Okay, so make sure once you add the veggies, you're doing all of the cooking on a high heat because you need to stir fry these on high flame. And now we're going to add in another veggie, that is, we've got some bamboo shoot over here. This is canned bamboo shoot I'm using. If you get fresh, then you can use that, or if you don't like it, you can completely avoid using it. But I like bamboo shoot, so I'm going to add some of that. Give this a good mix and I'm going to let this cook for about a minute or two till the vegetables are nicely sauteed. And in the meanwhile, we're going to prepare the dumplings for this soup. And for that, I've got a bowl here in which I'm going to mix some corn flour. To this, I'm going to add a lot of breadcrumbs. I'm going to break an egg in a bowl and we're going to add it to this. And now we'll whisk this slightly. We're going to add the eggs to the breadcrumbs. Next, I'm going to add in a bunch of parsley because we're making parsley lemon dumplings. So lots of parsley goes in there. So I'm going to grate some of the lime on this. I'm going to get some of the zest into this mixture. Next, I'm going to cut this lime and use some of the juice in this as well. So in goes some fresh lemon juice. Next, we're going to add some Parmesan cheese powder. A little bit of crushed black pepper. And a tiny little pinch of salt for seasoning. Make sure you don't go overboard in the salt because the Parmesan cheese powder is already pretty salty in taste. And now we're going to give this a good mix so all of this is well combined. Okay, so when you're making this, you need to make sure that the consistency is wet, but it shouldn't be that wet that you're unable to shape it into dumplings. So the consistency right now does need a little bit more breadcrumbs. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. So this is what I want the dumpling mixture to look like. You need to keep adjusting your ingredients so you get the perfect consistency on your dumpling mixture. So our veggies are nicely sauteed. At this stage, I'm going to add in some vegetable stock to the pan. Now I'm going to season this with some salt. And I'm just going to finely chop one green chilli and add it to this. So in goes the chopped green chilli. So after adding in the chilies, I'm going to cover this and we're going to let it come to a boil. So our soup has come to a nice rolling boil now. And now we're going to add the dumplings to it. So I've got the dumpling mixture over here. We're going to just take portions of the dumpling and shape it into tiny balls like this. And then we're going to drop these dumplings into the soup. Similarly, I'm going to make more dumplings out of the remaining dough and add it to the soup. So now I've added all of the dumplings into the soup. Now I'm going to add in some spinach leaves. So I've got a few over here. I'm just going to roughly chop these. I'm just going to cut these into like 3 pieces maybe. And we're going to add the spinach leaves to the soup. We'll give this a good mix. You'll see that once the dumplings are starting to cook, they're going to float on the top of the pan like they are over here right now. We just need to cover this and let it come to one more boil for about a minute or two, and then we're ready to serve the soup. So it's been 2 minutes and the soup seems like it's perfectly done. We're going to take off the lid and there's a great aroma. And we're ready to serve this, but before we do so, I'm going to add a final dash of parsley. So big sprinkling of parsley. We're going to turn off the heat and we're going to add in a squeeze of lemon juice. We'll give this one good stir and we're ready to serve. Now to serve, I've got a bowl here which is not traditionally a soup bowl, but it'll do perfectly fine for this recipe. So I'm just going to pour in a ladle full of these with the lovely dumplings and fabulous veggies. So here it is, a fabulous soup recipe. It's a little different than your normal run-in-the-mill veg soups because you've got some great lemon parsley dumplings in it. Make sure you try this soup because it is a fabulous one.